Sawadee-ka. Good afternoon, good evening. Okay, so we had a very eventful day. We didn't do everything we planned to do today, but very eventful nonetheless. So I'm going to pull up my S note that I made. Okay, so two things though. I'm not a fan of this hotel. I'm not. Now, it's a Dusit. This is the Dusit Princess in Chiang Mai. The Dusit in Chiang Mai was gorgeous. It was gorgeous grounds. It was amazing. This hotel, not a fan. Let me just give you like a little. Okay, and then there's that just like, can you see that sofa? There's that odd place sofa. It's just weird. Not a fan of it. But okay, but let me tell you the weirdest thing of all. So in the bed, they've got this like switchboard thing for the lights. Okay, super weird. Now we woke up this morning with a plan to go to breakfast and then go down to the 3D art museum. And we did do that. But when I woke up when the alarm was going off at 7:15, 7:30, my battery was on 10%. How's that possible when you've been on the dock all night? The electricity in this room is so poor. So poor. And you don't believe me? Okay. I'm going to play with these light switches. And then I'm going to push the drawer in. You're going to see how poor this is. So I'm going to turn out that light. And I think that light. And if I pull the drawer out. Wait. If I pull the drawer out, we just completely lose all lighting. And then it comes back on. Out, no lighting, in, lighting. What is this? Ghost town. Crazy. Not a fan. Not a fan. Okay, Alexa, she can read. Alexa's just trying to read. I'm bothering her. Okay, so that was the first thing. The phone was on charge. Okay. The 3D art museum. Amazeballs. Totally loved it. And I'll put some of my favorite pictures that I've took from there here. Okay, a little bit out of order, but okay, so I wanted to find a nail salon because I wanted to get my nails touched up from when I got them done in Dubai because they're chipping on this hand. As you can, like, if you can't see, like, and like my thumbs all messed up. But anyway, so I was just trying to find a nail salon that had a similar color. It didn't have to be a perfect match, but I wanted to keep it nudes because my toes are still perfectly fine and they're that color. I didn't want to have a weird color. Well, we haven't found like a full service nail salon, like a salon that does nails. I haven't found that. They're like massage parlors that also can give you a manicure. So all they have is like a little basket full of nail polish. It's not like a brand. It's not like all Essie or all OPI, or it's just like mix and match polish. So that didn't happen. Okay, so after the 3D museum, we went to the Chiang Mai Zoo. Couple of things about this zoo, guys. It's a gorgeous zoo. If you ever come to Chiang Mai, I recommend going to the zoo because they've got pandas. And I don't know if you know, but there's not many U.S. zoos that have pandas. I think there's like 2. I think it's like D.C. and San Diego. They've got pandas. So pandas are in China. Pandas are in Asia. They're not really in U.S. zoos. So anytime I can see pandas, I want to see pandas. So I really went for the pandas. They also have koalas for Ashley. You know, koalas, so cute when dry. Anyway, so you get to the zoo and you can rent a golf cart. They just, drive up. Because Alexa said, oh, people normally drive into the zoo and they park at the different enclosures and stops and go see them. And I was like, oh, that's kind of weird. Now I know why. This zoo is not a zoo. It's a mountain that they just put some zoo stuff in, okay? It's nothing but hills and these steep steps. I'm pretty sure I took a video from there, and I'll post it right here of me dying. Okay, so we're at the Chiang Mai Zoo. Zoo's gorgeous, okay? They got pandas, they got koalas and penguins and hippopotamus that you can literally touch. In the States, that would never happen. But this thing is set on like a mountain. And everywhere you go, you have to walk up these huge slopes. I'm about to die. And we only seen 5 things. You see me, I'm huffing, I'm puffing, I can't breathe. This is crazy. I'm gonna die. Okay, that's me dying. Okay, it's so steep, so hilly, It's a mountain. You're climbing a mountain and you're seeing animals in between. Like, that's what it really is. If you ever have a chance to go to the zoo, rent the golf cart. Rent it. It's like $3.50 or $3.80 an hour, Thai baht per hour. You will save yourself that much time just from walking around. You will spend an hour and a half walking to certain stuff because it's so spread out. Like, stuff is so far. So if you ever go, rent the golf cart. You'll thank me. It's a death valley. Secondly, about the zoo is that they don't have real good enclosures. For instance, they have hippos. Okay, you're like, okay, and I'll tell you. You can touch the hippos. They're right there. Actually, to be very honest, anytime you put your hand up, the hippo opens their mouth. Don't believe me? Here's a picture of it. Okay. Every time you walk up to, because you can feed the hippos. Who wants to feed hippos? And Alexis said that they're dangerous creatures. And so she says when you go back to the U.S., watch a documentary and see how close you came to losing your life. Well, had the hippos been in proper enclosures like they do in the U.S., I wouldn't have that fear. Okay. Same thing with the giraffes. Not the giraffes are crazy attack creatures, but they also... I feel like they feed anything in the zoo. If there's an animal, you can feed it. Although I didn't have a picture of it, but they had baby goats. You have a picture of baby goats? Okay, so we have no picture of baby goats, but they're adorable, okay? They walk up to you, again, looking for food, because apparently you can feed anything in the zoo. But they were so cute, guys. They were so cute. It's just like the Facebook videos. They're all small and jumping around. Adorable. And they have the cutest bleeding. It's too cute to be real. Okay, so I'm gonna make a statement here. This zoo has storks. And then you're like, okay, and? Well, so Alexis says, well, okay, here's the map. She has a map. And she says, we can go to the bird, like, sanctuary, and we can see the birds. And I was like, well, what's there? Because I don't want to see, like, no regular, old birds. And she goes, well, they have storks. And I said, what? And she said, storks. And I was like, those are real birds? And she said, yes. And I was like, I was like, really? And she goes, yes, not the ones that bring babies, though. Like, those are not real. And I was like, I knew that storks, like, okay, first of all, let me clarify. I am completely aware that storks don't bring babies. I just want to be very clear that I know where babies come from. But I thought that storks were mythical creatures that brought babies. Like, I didn't think there were actually there was a real bird that was a stork. Okay? So seeing real storks was interesting. So she told me not to post that to the video, but I was like, no, my friends will know. My friends will know that they should expect that from me. So, guys, storks are real, in case anyone didn't know that, if it was just me. Okay, so that was the zoo. I had initially planned to be at the zoo like an hour and a half because, I mean, my thing is, like, all zoos are pretty much the same. You're gonna have the same kind of animals. I was really going to see the pandas, like that, the pandas and koalas. Like, that was my main thing. I didn't even do the aquarium because I just did the aquarium at Dubai, so I don't need to keep doing aquariums. But I feel like zoos are, they have some different animals, and the hippos were, I guess, pretty cool, I guess. But pandas. Well, like I said before, we did not rent the golf cart, and my laziness should have overridden my sensibility because I should have rented the golf cart. It took us nearly, 3 hours? Nearly 3 hours to get through the zoo. 3 hours. That is double the time I had planned. So, as we're going through the zoo and we're looking at the time, and I was like, listen, like, we're not going to make the Tiger Kingdom today. And which is fine because they have one in Phuket, so I'll just do it there. But I was like, I'm not trying to be rushing from the zoo to Tiger Kingdom and then get the lazy, tired tigers that don't want to play no more. Like, I don't want those. So I was like, let's just scrap it. Let's just finish the zoo. And we hadn't even had lunch, anything. Like, the day was just all thrown off. So that took way, way long. So I did not get to Tiger Kingdom. Tomorrow, I have a really early flight to Phuket. I thought it was later, but I get into Phuket like 11:30. I leave Chiang Mai at 9:30, and I get there early. And check-in's not till 2. I looked at it's 2 o'clock. Yeah. So check-in's not till 2. So, and I have an airport transfer. I'm hoping they will either just hold my bags, and then if I really can't check in till 2, that's perfect time for me to leave the bags and then go to Tiger Kingdom. So that's probably what I'll do when I get to Phuket. Okay. That was a zoo. Here's something I want to touch on. Everywhere we go, so what's the term for people? Sway. Okay, so everywhere we go, Alexa says they keep saying like sway. So sway? Sway. Sway. I can't do it like her, obviously. But so it means beautiful. And so everywhere we seem to go, men and women alike, they're calling me very beautiful. They're like, oh, she's very beautiful, very beautiful. I think it's probably just like the dark skin, the hair. I'm different. I just look different. Because I'm like, all of y'all can't feel this way. But that's interesting to me because I obviously don't look like them. Clearly, I'm foreign. But we were talking about the color issue here. So, I mean, y'all know in America, we should not have, but we do have, light skin versus dark skin. Lighter the better. Light is right. So here, and I'm going to post these pictures I took in the airport because this was weird to me. They have this stuff called snail white. I saw it in the airport and I was like, is that bleaching cream? And it's like they got these big billboards. And then we go to one of the malls today and there's in the mall, there's a cosmetic procedure place that does skin whitening. They don't call it bleaching. It's whitening. And so I'm just like, what is it with Thailand and this skin bleaching? And so she says that the lighter you are, the better you are. That, if you're more fair complected, you're obviously not in the fields, and you don't have manual labor, and you're just looked upon as being better. And I think Black people, we can relate to that, just with light skin versus dark skin, and being a house Negro and a field Negro and whatnot. But it just amazes me how much still colorism exists. And I know my friends who are watching this are like, Darsha, you support colorism. No, I don't support colorism. I just have my own issues with it. But very interesting because Thais aren't, I haven't seen a dark, not a Thai my color. Have you seen Thais my color ever? Not that dark. Right. So they look like light-skinned people. That's as dark as you're gonna see a Thai, I guess. And so it's just interesting to me because I'm like, they're selling and pushing so many skin whitening products. It's unreal. So it's very disheartening to me. Also saw, and if you see the picture, I'm gonna have 2 pictures. One is a nipple cream. It was to make your nipples lighter. Why is that even important? Why is it even an issue? Why are your nipple colors even an issue? Very weird. Very, very weird. Okay, so great thing today, guys. Got my Thai sunset. And it looks something like this. Okay. So, okay. So we rode in these things called sun towels. And they're basically pickup trucks with a roof, pretty much. That's a pretty fair explanation of them. I have a picture. Let's take a picture of me in a sun towel, and that's what it looks like. So the first one we got in, she goes, "Oh, this is so nice." Now, let me just clarify something. In the hotels we've been in, okay, this hotel that we're in now, no, let me go back. The very first hotel we got to, the Dusit in Chiang Mai, we get into it and she's like, "Oh, this is so gorgeous." And I'm like, yeah, it's okay. It's nothing like that Le Méridien I stayed in Dubai. That hotel was off the chain. Shout out to Le Méridien. But, it was nice. It was nice. It was a nice room. And so she's like, "Oh, a bathtub. I haven't had a bath in so long." Not that she doesn't wash, but it's just that when she's in her missionary camp, they have hot-ish water and they just have showers. So she's like, whenever she goes to hotels or guest houses, which are hostels, guys, she's staying in hostels whenever she travels, you know, she tries to take a bath. So these hotels that we were in were so nice to her. And I was like, so this hotel that we're in now, she's like, oh, this is so nice, the bed. And I'm like, this is basic. This is basic. And not that I'm out here staying, you know, in like intercontinentals, you know, or like raffles. But I tried to do really well with my hotels. Just because A, I was alone, and two, you know, I wanted a comfort. Like I didn't want to be worried about my comfort level. So we get in I say all that to say we get in this Sangtao. Again, it's a pickup truck with a roof. Like it's not anything glamorous. And so she's like, oh gosh, this is one of the nicer ones. And I look at her like, what? And she goes, look at it. The padding is good and it has carpet. So I'm like, this, I gotta see a bad one then, because this is pretty basic. Again, to me, I've never been in this. It's a pickup truck with a roof. Like, it's got some slight covering on the side, maybe, because I had the one we were in before, it didn't have windows, so it was just open air. So I'm like, okay, this is supposed to be the better ones. I'm a little afraid. But, so needless to say, anytime Alexis has said, this is nice, it's really good to her. Okay? For me, it's still very third world. If she says this is amazing, this is nice, it's third world. For instance, I don't know if I told you, on the bus, the VIP seats, she loved the VIP seats. They were just reclining seats, guys, like leather reclining seats. That's it. Yeah, and they were I guess more room, and so that was top of the line for Alexis. So I was like, you know, you're very easy to please. I can see that right now. Very easy to please. She'll make a man very happy one day. If any men's listening, she'll make you very happy. She doesn't need much. A bathtub and a down comforter will really get the job done, guys. Okay, so that was the Sangtao. Okay, I gotta talk about this air quality in Thailand, because it was a little bit in Bangkok, but it wasn't much. I noticed it really in Chiang Mai. I'm noticing it horribly in Chiang Mai. My contacts are getting so dry, and it's just so smoky. So apparently there's a thing called burning season. And what are they burning? Is it just incense? Or?
No, the rice fields and
the rice fields.
Orchards and stuff.
The rice fields and the orchards are catching fire, and so they're coming over. But I mean, they're burning all these incense.
Especially from Burma.
And from Burma. They're burning from Burma. And it is, and then you got like the smoke and stuff from like the backfiring of these Sangtaos and the trucks and all the little motorbikes and everything, and it's just very smoggy to me. And so I noticed a lot, and I asked Alexis, why are so many Asians wearing the little masks, the little, you know, health masks? So she says they just prefer it with, you know, the burning season and all that. It just helps them to breathe better. And now I can see why. Like, it's I'm not like choking on it, but my eyes get very dry with the contacts, and I'm always putting my re-wetting drops in, and I'm always like blinking, and sometimes the contact's moving and it's a cloudy vision. So it's an interesting thing. There's either gunshots or fireworks outside. I can't tell which. We're in a nice hotel though, according to Alexis. Okay, it's fireworks, I guess, or someone's getting brutally murdered. You know, in New Orleans, this is normal for me. So, okay. Okay. Wait. So I want to talk to you today again about the bathroom situation. This is a new bathroom situation. If you saw yesterday's, I'm not gonna recap yesterday's bathroom situation. It was enough to relive it then. I'm not gonna relive it now. If you haven't seen the video, I recommend you go and watch the video from yesterday about the bathroom situation. Today, I'm gonna talk to you about the mall bathroom situation. So I said to Alexis, I need to use the bathroom. Do you think they're Western toilets? She said, yes, we're in a mall. It's fine. I said, okay. She leads me to the bathroom. I go into the bathroom, and this is what I see. Okay, I can't win. What is it? I either have nothing or spaceship toilets. What are all these buttons on the side of the toilet? Why is it that I just can't pee, wipe, and flush? Pee, wipe, and flush. That's it. That's all I'm looking for. And I have found I have none of those things, or I have everything and 90 more of these things. What's going on, Thailand? Like, I don't know. You guys make it so hard to please me. You really do. But I'm having a wonderful time. I want to say that. Oh, wait, I skipped one. Okay, so I think 2 days ago when we got to Chiang Mai, I told you about the monk who was on the plane and how no one can sit next to the, or well, she said women particularly, but I don't know if no one can or if it's just women. It's just women? Okay, so women can't sit next to the men monks. Could possibly cause impure thoughts. Okay, so as Alexis and I are leaving the Chiang Mai Zoo, we get back on the Sung Tao, but there's boy monks in there. And I said to her, I was like, oh, well, we're going to be able to get into that because the boy monks. And so long story short, she didn't think so, but we actually could. And she said that boys in Thailand actually, most of the boys probably go to monks school or monkhood or whatever it is, monk training, at least 3 months out of their entire life. Even if they never become monks, full-time monks, whatever, most times their parents will send them off to monk school training for at least 3 months. So I didn't know if we were going to be able to get in with the boy monks. I don't want to cause impure thoughts, to boy monks in training. I don't want to take away from their holiness. But apparently we could, so they told us to get in, so we got in. So I don't, the monk situation is weird to me because I don't know, like, at what point, I don't know. Again, I'm not Hindu, I'm not Buddhist. I don't know how monk situations work, so I'm not even going to go into it anymore. Okay, so I'm back. We went to, well, you didn't know I left, but we're back. We went to the night bazaar, and we went to go get a tattoo. But, so you can see, the plastic, got that covered. If you're dying to know what it is, sucks to be you. Okay, I have a list of things that I wanted to touch on. In multiple videos, but never got to it. So, first things first is that when we were in the mall today, Alexis, what is this? You didn't do that?
No. I'm an artist. That's not really my style.
Okay, so okay, so if you're wondering what just happened is I got my list. Right? It's in pencil. So I got my list and I just happened to flip the page and this is what I see. And I'm like, what is this? What is this? Gargoyle. It must have just been a child. I don't know. That was weird. Okay, so, we were in the mall today and we saw a store that had, like, what's it called? Like medical shapewear or some kind of shapewear, okay? And what they had in the window was a man in a face mask, but they had this baby Spanx. Like, this baby was Spanx all the way down. It was really weird. I'll put a picture of that right here. Okay. So Alexis says, well, how would you wear that face mask? And where would you wear it? Like, all the time? I don't know what the face mask would do. I'm wondering if the face mask is for burn victims. Maybe. I'm not sure. Okay. Here's a little funny for you. So this morning, Alexis and I went to breakfast. And I was trying to get a list of things that I wanted to get from the night bazaar. The night bazaar, just to make it simple, is like a really big outdoor flea market. It's just a bunch of people with their little tables set up and they're selling their wares. That's it. So I said to Alexis this morning, I was like, we need more ties. And she was like, well, there's plenty of them. I guess we could find some. And it didn't dawn on me. She thought I meant ties as in people. And I was talking about ties as in neckties. And like the miscommunication still didn't happen until she said, I mean, they're all around. And I was like, wait, no, not tie people. Neckties, neckties. Okay, so that's that. Speaking of neckties, Alexis likes the way I haggle. If you guys know me, you know I'm cheap. I don't want to pay what you're asking. I want less than that. So in Thailand, I get to go back to haggle. I love to haggle, okay? Whatever the price you tell me, I want less than that. So I had bought some neckties a couple of days ago in Chiang Mai. No, Chiang Rai, sorry. We're in Chiang Mai. And I forgot somebody on my souvenir list that I wanted to get some things for, so I wanted more neckties. So we go back out today, right before we go to, well, we went to the tattoo parlor first to, that's a story. That story's coming. But went to the tattoo parlor, and so the bazaar kind of starts to close up like around 10:30, 11 o'clock. And I wanted to get the neckties before they close because I don't know what the situation is in Phuket, so I didn't want to risk it. So we leave the tattoo parlor. He's out. He's making the design or whatever. And so we go to the necktie place, and they have these neckties in boxes. Well, I didn't realize that the box set was like a handkerchief, tie, and cufflinks. Well, I don't need all that. I just need ties. So he's like, well, these ties are on the wall. I really swear to you, he told me them ties were 100 baht. Because I was like, oh, okay, I'll get 3. And so if they were 100 baht a piece, I was going to try to get him down to 220 for 3. Well, I go to, I say, I'm going to take these 3. And he's like, 450. And I'm like, what? And he's like, 450. And I'm like, you told me they were $100. And he's like, no, they're 150. And I was like, oh, well, I thought they were 100. And I was going to ask you if you could do like 3 for 250. And he was like, no, I give you 3 for 350. I said, no, all I have is 3, and that's too much. So it's okay. I just won't get them. So I go to walk away, and he's like, I give them to you for 325. I was like, sir, all I have is 3. I cannot give you more than what I have. He was like, fine, 3. And he like throws them in the bag. And so I go to Alexis, and I was like, Alexis, please, I need 300 baht. I need singles. And so she's like, okay. So I was like, all right. The reason why I needed singles is because I just told this man that all I had was 300 baht. I cannot very well pull out 1,000 baht bills. That goes clearly against what I said. I'm not trying to anger the man. I just want a cheaper price. So she's like, I like the way you haggle. So listen, this is all I have. If you can't meet that demand, I'll go somewhere else. Okay. So that was that. Okay, so the tattoo. Now, we didn't get the original idea what we wanted. I wanted one of the phrases that I use very often translated into Thai, and we did not get. Okay, so we ended up not getting that, but it was very interesting about the Thai translation because it's so many times and in so many languages I tend to forget this, that things don't translate literally. Like, for instance, in New Orleans, people say they go to make groceries. Well, you're not making groceries. But they take that from the verb faire, which means to do or to make. And they took that and they translated it literally. And so now they make groceries. So in Thai, it's a little similar, but it's still different in the fact that certain words and certain sounds mean something. So the word may be the same, but the sound and the pronunciation of it takes a different context and a different connotation. So we're talking to the tattoo artist. So he and Alexis, after an hour of trying to get this translation down and the exact meaning, he then takes that and goes out into the bazaar area and talks to an Arab, an Englishman, and a Thai woman to try to make sure he's got the correct translation. I guess the Englishman was there to make sure that the English phrase translated how it was going to be in Thai. It was so crazy. We ended up not even going that route because it was too difficult, and then he wanted to charge me something I felt was a little astronomical, so we didn't do that. But I was like, how many people does it take to translate a phrase? Apparently 4. Okay. I want to talk to you about these dogs in Thailand. Now, I like dogs. I don't have no beef with dogs, okay? But what I do have beef with is the fact that there are just dogs laying around in the streets. Okay? First of all, there are dogs everywhere. There are dogs on the street. There's just dogs everywhere. And so Alexa said that in Thai culture, people don't let the pets in the house. I think that's just cruel and unusual. Dogs should be in the family home, cuddle up with people. But that's just my opinion. So when we were in northern Thailand, we were in Chiang Mai, and we went up into the mountains. There was a dog literally just laying in the road, like sunbathing, just laying in the road. And here's a picture of that right there. So, what else was on my list? Okay, the last thing that I can think to talk about without making this video super freaking long, because I'm already at 10 minutes, and the video before that is like 22. So, we're a long video, guys. The Dusset hotels, I have beef with them. I officially have beef with them. So, I have a room booked in Phuket, okay? It is from the 23rd to the 25th. Because I'm only staying 2 nights, I did not qualify, or the room rate and whatnot did not qualify for like free breakfast or free airport transfer. So, when I booked the hotel, I added breakfast a la carte every day, and I added a one-way airport transfer. So throughout the week, since I booked it, they were asking for my flight details. Well, I didn't have my flight details at that time, and I sent her an email, and I said, I will have the flight details by December 4th or 7th, whatever that Friday was, before I left. So I think that's the 4th. And I ended up not having them until that Monday, but beside the point. So when I got my flight details to Phuket, I sent them to them. You know, here's my arrival and here's my departure. So she says to me, we need a credit card to hold the room. To hold the transfer. And that to me was extra sketch. Why do you need my credit card information for airport transfer? You're adding it, it's added into the room rate. So I wasn't about that life. I was not sending her my credit card information over no email. I just wasn't going to do that. So I did not do that. So I called today because they sent me an email about me I think they sent me an email about not having transport or something. And so I called them. And so the lady on the phone was just, again, the language barrier is so difficult. It really is, because they don't know much English and I know no Thai. And so it's just hard to convey my frustration. But whatever. So I'm trying to tell her that I booked this stuff a la carte. And all she keeps saying to me is, oh, the room rate that you have doesn't qualify for complimentary airport transfer. I'm like, I know. She goes, airport transfer would be an additional 1,300 baht. Clearly, I booked it, ma'am. I know how much it costs. I'm looking at my reservation receipt. Why are you not getting it? And I was like, what I don't want you to do is tell me when I get to the airport, because what they said was it's already full. The airport transport is full. Well, it better be full because you're including me in that number, and not because I wouldn't give you my credit card over an email. You're crazy. Right now, I'm staying at the Dusset Princess in Chiang Mai, and they didn't want my credit information over no email for airport transfer, and they picked me up just fine. Had no problems getting in. And guess what? When I check out, it'll be on the bill. Foolish, I say, foolish. So, oh wait, we didn't have airport transfer. We caught a cab. I'm sorry, I'm making that up. Okay, scratch what I just said about that. We had airport transfer from Chiang Mai. That I did have airport transfer for. And that was also a Dusset Chiang Mai resort. Beautiful resort. I recommend it. But they didn't ask me for a credit card to reserve the airport pickup. It was added to the room. So I don't know what was going on with Phuket, but I know somebody better be at that damn airport at 11:30 in the morning tomorrow to pick me up, or I'm gonna raise hell. And I'm not paying for that room. I'm not. I will go to the Le Meridian like I should have in the first place. Okay, so that's my rant. I gotta stop this video because it's 13 minutes and the other video combined it's like a 40-minute video now. Okay, so anyway, guys, Chiang Mai's been great. Chiang Rai's been great. Tomorrow we leave for Phuket. Tomorrow Tiger Kingdom. Tomorrow we do beaches and whatnot and all that good jazz. And I will see you at the bottom of Thailand.